Man's Search for Meaning is one of the most profoundly influential books, selected by the U.S. Congress as one of the top 10 must-read books of all time. First published in 1946, the book quickly gained widespread attention and was translated into 24 languages, becoming a globally recognized work. The author, Viktor Frankl, a distinguished psychiatrist, is known as the miracle worker of the 20th century. During the dark period of World War II, Frankl, a Jewish man, endured the horrors of Nazi captivity in concentration camps, often referred to as death factories. Despite the harshest conditions, he not only survived, but also pioneered logotherapy, a therapeutic approach aimed at helping those in despair to find meaning in life, even in the face of hopelessness. Man's Search for Meaning is not merely Frankl's personal story. It serves as a beacon, illustrating how people can find light in the darkest moments, amidst pain and adversity. The book is distinctly divided into two main parts. The first part is Frankl's first-hand experiences in Nazi concentration camps, where he and thousands of other Jewish prisoners were held. There, he witnessed the pain, loss, and tragic human struggles. In this section, he describes the brutal conditions, from severe shortages of food and water to beatings and torture that prisoners endured. However, what stands out is how Frankl overcame these trials. He not only strove to survive, but also began to search for meaning within his own suffering and that of those around him. The second part of the book combines Frankl's personal experiences with the psychological theory he developed, aimed at helping people recognize that even in the worst conditions, one can find purpose and continue to survive. The essence of the work can be summarized in three words: choice, suffering, and meaning. Frankl emphasizes that while life may bring unimaginable suffering, people always have the choice in how they respond. It is in the way we confront pain and derive meaning from difficult experiences that determines the quality of our lives. Hello everyone, welcome to Level Up Knowledge, a channel dedicated to sharing insights for holistic self-development through great books. In this video, I'd like to share with you a profound concept titled, "Everything that makes you suffer is here to save you," based on Viktor Frankl's renowned psychological work, Man's Search for Meaning. Join us to explore how pain can become a source of strength, helping us to overcome challenges and find meaning in life. Frankl's invaluable lessons will not only inspire you, but also deepen your understanding of human nature and how we can live a fulfilling, meaningful life. Choice, the right no one can take away. One of the most crucial concepts Frankl presents in Man's Search for Meaning is the power of choice. He believed that even in the most extreme situations, people retain the right to choose how they respond to their circumstances. This belief became Frankl's guiding principle during his years of captivity in concentration camps. In 1930, as Europe was gripped by the terror of Nazi Germany, Frankl was serving as head of the neurology department at a hospital in Vienna. When he received an invitation to emigrate from the U.S. Embassy for his safety, he decided to stay, feeling he could not abandon his family and the patients he felt responsible for. Just a few months later, both he and his family were arrested and sent to concentration camps. There, Frankl witnessed thousands of people reduced to slaves, subjected to daily beatings, humiliation, and torture. Former businessmen, doctors, teachers, and researchers were now weakened bodies, struggling to survive in a severely hostile environment. The most frightening aspect wasn't just the hunger or hard labor. It was the loss of humanity when people were stripped of everything, even their right to choose their own lives. However, according to Frankl, even in such circumstances, people can retain one ultimate freedom: the right to choose how they respond to adversity. The first time Frankl was forced to shower naked in the concentration camp, he realized that, aside from his body, everything else could be taken away. But the one thing no one could take was his inner freedom, the freedom to choose his reaction to events. This is why Frankl remained steadfast, no matter how terrible the circumstances became. For Frankl, no one could control his circumstances, but he could control his attitude. In our own lives, choice plays a similarly vital role. When faced with pain, each of us has a decision to make: either to give up or to fight to the end. This is a choice that only the individual can make, and it determines who will overcome adversity. Suffering, the source of inner strength. Viktor Frankl's experiences in concentration camps brought profound insights into the nature of suffering and the resilient strength of the human spirit. Much like 100 Years of Solitude, which speaks to humanity's endless journey filled with sorrow and failure, burdened by pain, Frankl's journey exemplifies the inevitability of suffering. He endured extreme physical agony, hunger, illness, and the pain of swollen limbs from frostbite and malnutrition. Every step he took, with swollen feet and knees that wouldn't bend, became an unimaginable burden. Like other prisoners, Frankl was often on the edge of despair. But in these moments of intense suffering, he discovered how to transform pain into something greater. Assigned to care for sick prisoners, Frankl contracted typhus and narrowly escaped death multiple times, whether from illness or the constant threat of the crematoriums. These experiences at death's edge forced him to rethink life's meaning. Observing those around him, he saw that as long as someone held onto the image of a loved one or an unwavering goal, they would never give up on life. With this awareness, he resolved not to let exhaustion or illness bring him down, but instead treated the camp as a place to train his mind. While other prisoners became numb and lost themselves, Frankl taught them how to transcend pain with humor. When they lost hope, he uplifted them with gentle encouragement. Even while suffering from typhus and at the risk of imminent death, Frankl continued taking notes on scraps of paper, preparing for his future psychological book. 3 years of captivity didn't break him. Instead, it strengthened his heart and deepened his understanding of human nature, ultimately allowing him to develop his unique psychotherapy, logotherapy. Physical suffering awakened boundless inner strength within him. As the poet Tagore once said, "Only after enduring hellish suffering can one develop the strength to create paradise." Like a rose blooming after enduring bitter cold or an eagle soaring higher after healing a broken wing, humans rise from adversity. We often fear failure, crisis, and suffering, not realizing that these bitter challenges help us grow. The hardships and people who cause us pain ultimately become the nutrients for our rebirth. The famous line from The Shawshank Redemption reminds us, "No pain is unhealable, no downfall lasts forever, and everything lost returns in another way." Human nature seeks advantage and avoids adversity, but if we recognize that it's in the harshest circumstances that we can reach spiritual transcendence, we will no longer view suffering as a curse, nor feel unfortunate in adversity. Frankl believed that suffering, misfortune, and death are inseparable parts of life. A life without suffering and facing death would be incomplete. In suffering, people can still hold their heads high, savoring the taste of hardship and feeling pride for overcoming it. So to be worthy of what we've endured, what must we do? Meaning, the key to overcoming all hardships. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." This statement captures the core of Viktor Frankl's philosophy on the importance of finding meaning in life. During the harsh years in the concentration camps, Frankl witnessed many people who did not die from lack of food or medicine, but from the absence of a reason to keep living. Those who lost hope often gave up on life in a state of despair, unable to bear suffering and adversity. Statistics show that the highest mortality rates in the camps often occurred around Christmas, a particularly difficult time during World War II. Many prisoners, like soldiers, clung to the hope that they would return home by Christmas. But when Christmas arrived, without the fulfillment of that hope, their spirits collapsed, leading to physical decline and eventual death. This mental breakdown weakened their immune systems, causing illness and death. Such phenomena aren't exclusive to wartime. They also exist in modern life, where many people feel lost and suffer from psychological disorders like depression due to a lack of meaning. In a society where people are increasingly caught in the relentless cycle of mere existence, many lose sight of their own value. Frankl believed that what keeps people alive isn't vague hope, but the meaning they find in life. People do not live to seek happiness or avoid suffering. Instead, we live to discover and create meaning in our lives. This conviction led Frankl to develop logotherapy, a psychological approach that helps people confront and overcome difficulties by finding meaning in their existence. Searching for life's meaning is more crucial to humanity than any fleeting pleasure or happiness. It is this pursuit that fosters the spiritual strength needed to endure life's harshest trials. In his book, Frankl suggests 3 ways to help each person find meaning. The first is through creating value in one's work or engaging in meaningful creative activities. This is a process through which people can achieve accomplishments, enriching life in the process. The second is by experiencing love and compassion toward others, not limited to romantic love, but extending to familial bonds, friendship, and empathy toward the community. The third is adopting a courageous attitude, boldly facing all challenges, difficulties, and even failures in life. Resilience in one's outlook is, indeed, the key to survival. Frankl emphasized that nothing in the world can help a person survive more powerfully than realizing their life has meaning. The meaning of life is not something predetermined. It's a continuous journey of discovery, encompassing the full range of human emotions, from happiness to suffering, from success to failure. It embraces the entire life cycle, from birth to death. And it is this sense of purpose that provides the spiritual strength to endure any hardship. In modern times, many people are swept up in the rush of life and forget to search for true meaning. But Frankl believed that regardless of how much pain or joy life brings, each person should open themselves to receive and experience it fully. We must learn to accept and face difficulties, as they are an inseparable part of life. The meaning of life not only helps us survive the tough times, but also brings fulfillment and the inner strength to rise above challenges. Only then can we truly feel worthy of what we've endured. What you can endure, you can achieve. After being liberated from the concentration camp in 1945, Viktor Frankl faced unbearable loneliness. His closest loved ones, his parents, younger brother, and pregnant wife, all died in the camps due to illness and starvation. The surviving friends he had in the camp had also relocated to other places, leaving him alone in an empty world. Although he had no family or friends left, Frankl decided to return to his profession as a psychologist to help others who had been mentally scarred by the war. He threw himself into his work with unwavering passion, combining personal experience with academic knowledge to further develop logotherapy. Through lectures and psychological counseling, Frankl helped many, from fathers and mothers contemplating suicide after losing a child, to husbands unable to let go of their departed wives, and thousands of people grappling with confusion and despair. During this time, he rewrote the manuscript lost in the concentration camp, dedicating 9 days to completing man's search for meaning. In the following decades, Frankl authored over 30 more books and traveled worldwide to speak on the importance of finding purpose in life. The experience of escaping death ignited a profound passion for life within him. He was not just a psychologist, but someone who embraced every moment wholeheartedly. At 67, he started learning to fly and obtained his pilot's license within months. By 80, he challenged himself with outdoor sports, climbing the tallest mountain range in Europe. Even in his 90s, he continued to have in-depth conversations with visitors from around the world, personally answering letters to help people with their questions. Many were deeply moved by his actions, and his influence extended not only to those he helped directly, but also spread across society. Prestigious universities like Harvard and Stanford invited him as a professor, and renowned politicians, philosophers, and even Pope John Paul II read his books and visited him from afar. Though his life could have been shattered by war, he chose to emerge from the ruins of suffering and live radiantly, like a halo of light. The writer Balzac once said, Suffering is a stepping stone for the genius, a fortune for the capable, and an abyss for the weak. The suffering we endure is always a challenge, a mandatory lesson in life. The amount of pain you can withstand often determines the extent of your accomplishments. By choosing to rise above pain, Frankl ultimately grasped the profound meaning of life. His life left an eternal source of inspiration for millions around the world, and the logotherapy he founded continues to aid humanity and will do so in the future. If you study psychology or read series on psychology, you'll notice that, compared to psychoanalysis, logotherapy is less focused on confronting the inner self and the past and more directed toward the future. Concerning the main aim of existence, Freud suggested it's the pursuit of pleasure, while Adler emphasized striving for superiority to overcome inferiority. However, Frankl asserted that the search for meaning is the primary motivation in life. Nikolai Ostrovsky, author of How the Steel Was Tempered, said, "Human life is like a surging river. Without finding an island or hitting a reef, it is difficult to make beautiful waves. To see fragrant flowers, wild birds, and fish in the water, we cannot lack the training of nature. Life becomes better when we dare to cultivate ourselves amid hardship. Only by overcoming the deepest valleys we have yet to encounter can we climb heights we once thought unreachable." When a person succeeds in finding meaning, they don't only experience happiness, they gain the strength to face any adversity in life. May we all, when faced with difficulties, suffering, and failure, turn to man's search for meaning to learn, as Frankl did, how to rise above pain, strengthen our inner selves, and live with passion and creativity. If you're looking for a deeper understanding of logotherapy, you should also check out the book Prisoners of Our Thoughts. In a previous video, we shared about this book and the two authors who sought out Frankl to further study logotherapy, aiming to make it practical and accessible for everyone. This brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you found this video helpful, don't hesitate to share it with anyone who might benefit from it. Please leave your comments, thoughts, and feelings below. I'd love to know your opinions. Don't forget to like the video to show your support and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest content. One more thing, hit the notification bell to be instantly informed of new videos. Thank you so much once again, and I'll see you in the next video.